What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the We'll See You Later podcast, brought to you by Happy's Energy and Nutrition, the best energy and nutrition on the entire planet. My name is Willie Ray.
And my name is Jeremy. And we are very excited to have you guys here on this beautiful Monday afternoon.
I don't know what we're going to talk about. Nothing really happened this week.
Mm-mm.
You know, like the NBA Finals start this week.
I don't know what that is.
That's exciting.
Who is that?
Just kidding. How we feeling, Hog Nation?
Pretty damn good.
We feeling good?
Yeah.
That's what happens when you dominate a regional. Can we just say this tournament's drunk, and I'm here for every bit of it.
This tournament's been wild.
It has been wild. The only thing that made sense this week was Hogs in 3. That's the only thing that made sense all weekend.
Everything else is chaotic. The entire bracket
We were not ready
filled out incorrectly.
because we went off of logic, and this tournament has none of that.
No logic has been explained here. We, out of the 12 teams that have made it, we have 3 correct.
Okay. So here's the awesome time that we're living in, Jeremy. Arkansas wins a regional for the first time in a couple of years. They're going back to the Supers. You would think that would be top billing on this show. The University of Arkansas is not even the biggest baseball story in the state of Arkansas right now.
Not even close. Although we're very happy with what you did. 100%
Right.
business as usual.
Oh, no. Yeah. But this is also the state helping each other out here.
Oh, yeah.
How about these Little Rock Trojans? This is ridiculous. This is getting ridiculous at this point. You're the 8th team in to the OVC tournament. Only 8 teams qualify.
Last team in.
The top 8 out of 10 teams qualify. You're the last team in. You win, 5 games in 4 days to win your tournament championship and get into the postseason? That's a cute story. You get blanked by LSU in the first game. Nobody's mad at you for that.
No. Getting in the tournament is the goal.
You scored 3 touchdowns on Rhode Island, 22-10. All right, you got you a win. Great. Nobody told these guys they were supposed to go home. I just watched Little Rock beat LSU at home at night in a tournament setting.
Second game of the day.
Yeah, after beating DBU and sending them home. What is going on? Chris Curry's Trojans play later tonight for a chance to go to the Super Regionals and knock off LSU. What is going on?
They are the Cinderella of the ball. Them and Murray State are sharing that space, but Euler, they're not supposed to be in it.
It's not even close. Murray State, at least, like, it's not on the same wavelength. Euler has no reason to be here. None. No. They're still 7-8 games under 500.
Yeah, they came in like 20-34.
They haven't had a good year at all.
No.
Nobody told these guys they weren't good. Angel Cano, the first baseman for Euler,
is on fire.
He's an animal, dude.
What year is he?
I don't know.
Because he'll be somewhere else.
He's about to hit the transfer portal and make a fat NIL deal, though. Oh, man. This is great. We live in the Little Rock area. We're in Little Rock right now.
Euler is literally 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah, I'm literally seeing signs. Waldo's Chicken and Beer is doing a Euler watch party tonight. If these guys pull this off, I'm wearing Euler gear next week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if these guys pull this off. Because here's the thing, guys. Arkansas is ipso facto paired with the LSU regional kind of down the road. If Arkansas is lucky enough to get out of the Supers, the first game that they would have
in Omaha
is the winner of the LSU Supers. If Little Rock wins 3 more games,
they're playing in the World Series.
They're playing in the World Series, and we theoretically could see a first-round matchup of Arkansas versus ULR.
Which would be insane.
In Omaha. These guys played twice this year in a midweek. Did that feel like a Omaha matchup to you?
We complained about this last week about how we thought Little Rock should be in our regional. I'm kind of glad they're not.
I'm so glad they're not, because this has been so cool to root for these guys. I can't allow my brain to go there. Conventional wisdom says they get beat 25-3 tonight.
Yeah.
I can't allow my brain to go there.
I think bat-wise, I like Euler to be able to hit today, because you're going to be going up probably against a midweek arm that LSU has left. They're on game 4. But
yeah, the pitching advantage is kind of gone. But
how many arms does Euler have?
There's also, with everything, from LSU to Little Rock. We're not talking about a kind of good baseball program. Yeah, no. LSU is the bluest of the blue blood.
Yeah.
With college baseball, there's a big talent gap. And
I think it'll be a higher scoring game. If you, ALR, can get an LSU pitcher who is not an every weekend starter, which is what you're going to see more than likely, if you can get them rattled, I think you can score. Now, here's the only reason. Can you stop LSU? Because you're going to be pitching your seventh arm. Like, this is where I don't know.
The longer they hang around, the tighter things will get.
Yeah, and the stress. This is when, as I was hoping that it would be true, that Euler would win, and they did. In the fifth inning, Milam, beast, leader, he ran to the dugout and spiked his helmet down. And in that moment, you just lost. You're letting this get to you so much, and they were only down 3-2. I knew in that moment, Euler's got him, because Euler's playing so free and hype, and you're frustrated. If you watch this is the biggest thing I'll say about Arkansas this weekend, the calmest and most focused weekend I've ever seen a Razorback team.
Very professional. We're going about our business this weekend.
Yes, and it felt like such. And it wasn't just one guy, it was everyone. But it was just the cleanest baseball I've seen in a while.
Right. We are going about our business, and what you do is meaningless.
There's a lot of people here that are super hyped just to make it to the next round. And the news and the TV wanted to make it known that we lose our second game the past 2 years, and everybody was so calm and collected. No one on the team gave a dang about anything in the past. It's, hey, we're going to win 3. And we'll worry about next week.
Right.
That's
Arkansas is mashed all year. They forgot about this pitching staff. Arkansas gave up 6 runs all weekend. That's an average of 2 runs a game in a regional, absolutely business-like approach against. But I will say, respect to North Dakota State. I like how hard they play. They won their tournament. That's the only reason they got in. But they came and played hard. They didn't take anything for granted. And then same thing with Creighton. Classy bunch. Ed Service, congratulations on a great career. Enjoy retirement. I hate that we had to be the ones to do that. Very business-like approach in a tournament that was not business-like. Absolute chaos going on all around you. Arkansas is ipso facto the 1 seed now, because 1 and 2 are no longer participating. Vanderbilt gets bounced by Wright State. I know Vanderbilt had the worst weekend of anyone as far as they didn't play well at all.
But here's the thing, that this is a lot like this. You know what this reminded me of? Vandy and Texas both did this. They remind me of an Iowa football team,
right?
Where they'll win 13-3 against anybody, but you never open the door to where it's comfortable. Vandy's all year long pitching, which is great. They can't outscore you.
They were what we were the last 2 years.
Yes. So if you don't have the sticks, I'm telling you, if somebody has your number at all, 3-2. There was Coastal beat ECU 1-0. Like, if you ain't bringing bats, you're not going to win very far in this tournament this year. And the guys that are playing great are the ones putting up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 runs.
Yeah, here's the thing is we were just talking about how Arkansas's pitching was so great. They only gave up 6 runs on the weekend. I think Vanderbilt only scored like 7 or 8.
Right.
All weekend long.
Against a 4 seed twice.
And the lack of offense got Texas, too. I know they beat up on Kansas State, but everybody beats up on Kansas State. Kansas State was one of the weaker 3 seeds in there. Switching over to the Texas series, we talked about this before we came on here. This is not just some cute story where UTSA got hot and they knocked out. UTSA is bad to the bone.
They've been hot.
You should be afraid to play them. They've got everything. And on top of all that, they got moxie. They think they can beat anybody.
Yeah, and they just knocked out their home state flag.
This loss to UTSA has to be such a gut punch for the University of Texas, because you could have recruited every one of these kids and you didn't. I love the story. I love the fact that, okay, Arkansas came in as the 3 seed. Now the 1 and the 2 are out. All the eyeballs are on you now, but I'm here for it. I think this team is built differently. I think they've expected this all year. They've look, we told you last week, the 1 and the 2 were Vanderbilt and Texas. Arkansas was 6-0 against those two teams.
Yep.
If Arkansas is playing at their best, nobody in this tournament can beat them.
What's up, everybody? It's your favorite co-host from the We'll See You Later podcast. This is Willie Ray. This episode of We'll See You Later was brought to you by our friends at Foul Play Golf. Founded by Arkansas native Grant Roberts, Foul Play Golf is a burgeoning apparel company meant for those of us who will never break 100 on the golf course. That's me, and don't be ashamed. I know it's you too. Above average apparel for the below average golfer. Jeremy and I have already placed orders. You can too by visiting their website at www.foulplaygolf.com. That's www.foulplaygolf.com. Foul Play Golf, where we break rules, not par.
Yeah. So, quick little recap of where we're at so far. Up here in the top right corner, number 2 Texas does fall. We had them going to Omaha quite easily.
I think if we go back and humble brag for a second, but I think if we go back and we watch that episode, I did passingly say, watch out for UTSA. I did not know that was going to happen, but.
So UTSA is now in, and they will play number 15 UCLA. We did not have UCLA winning. We had UC Irvine.
I think they went 2 in Q.
They sure did. No, Fresno did.
Oh, okay. Well, you won one game.
Yeah. And then over here, we also have, we picked Georgia, thought being at home in their home run derby style-esque of play, they would be able to just hit lights out.
That checked out. The ball was flying, but Oklahoma State plays an 0-8 where it does the exact same thing. And that 9th inning was nuts.
So OK State eliminates Georgia, but then turn around, them Duke Blue Devils that nobody was talking about eliminates OK State. Tonight, we don't know this one yet. Number 4 in their bracket, Murray State, in a sudden death
The
match.
Racers. Now, let's be clear. I'm taking Ole Miss here. I know Ole Miss had to come back from the loser's bracket, but if last night was any indication, they boat raced Murray State.
I like Murray. I want them.
I want them, absolutely. But I want them to win this, but I just think there's a talent gap here.
Ole Miss and Murray State play for the chance to go face Duke. The big one that we just talked about, LSU and UALR play tonight at 8 o'clock. Winner will go and play West Virginia, who upsets the Clemson region.
Did I not tell you they were fake?
We actually picked that one. So
yeah, did I not tell you Clemson, Death, Texas, and Clemson baseball being overrated in the postseason? They're such a charlatan, to steal a term from Uncle Ray. They're a charlatan. They're horrible.
And then you have Arkansas taking care of business, looking great. No stress on our plate.
Oh no, so proud of the approach this week. It felt like a team that, look, this is not a step we're worried about. You guys are worried about this step, getting out of a regional. We're not worried about this. This is just the first step on to bigger things.
Right. And then tonight, one that we will be watching. By the time you guys see this video, it'd already be done. But Tennessee, number 14, is in a sudden death with Wake Forest. And I have never been a bigger Wake Forest fan in my life.
It did my heart well to watch them choke away that one yesterday.
It did.
That Wake Forest wins on a walk-off walk.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Bases juiced.
Ouch.
Trying to get a bunt down. Just trying to get a bunt.
Yeah. Ouch town. Sorry about it, Tony. Let's be clear. I don't think it matters at this point who Arkansas plays. I think they are leaps and bounds better than either one of these teams. I think it's just a difference of, do they win a series in 3 or do they win a series in 2? I think if it's Wake Forest, no disrespect, but it's Hogs in 2. You can't spook Tennessee. They were literally here a couple weeks ago.
Right. And that's my big thing, is just crowd advantage. We'll have it on either game, but Tennessee knows what they're walking into. Wake Forest will anticipate it and freak out and like have that oh shit moment.
Yeah, it's
Tennessee won't have that. Now, they will get the history. I think Tennessee will still get spooked by how we pitch, how we play, and the talent level will be there. But I agree.
It's visceral too. Like, as far as the fan hate,
yes, we hate Tennessee.
It's
so
visceral.
It'll be ramped to it's gonna be 2 different styles. We're gonna overwhelm a Wake Forest, I think, with the crowd. We're going to get under the skin of a Tennessee.
They'll be
chirping.
There'll be fights in the stands.
Yes.
If it ends up, which I hate that, but I feel like the respect level goes as far as like they're a good team, but there's no personal respect there at all. There's no personal respect there at all.
No, we hate them. Well, you also think too for Tennessee, what's been their Achilles heel all year?
Finishing.
Game 3.
Finishing.
They don't have a game 3 guy.
Finishing. When you have to win a game 3 to win a series, or you have to close something out. That's been their bugaboo all year. Defense has been their problem. And what opened the door for Wake Forest? A ground ball to second base that their second baseman throws into the outfield. It's infield defense has been a bugaboo all year. You can't make mistakes like that and win in the postseason. Tennessee's got the better team. I think Wake Forest has the little bit of the moxie going where they think, okay, we've pulled it to where it's one game, winner take all. I'm down to ride with my team against either one of these guys. But yeah, well, Demon Deacons.
Like, oh yeah, and it'd be fun just to. I'm kind of tired of Tennessee.
We all are.
So it's then over here on this side, guys. That's the other half of the bracket. The number 1 team in the country. Again, we talked about no offense, a lot of defense, a lot of pitching.
No offense, none.
Louisville, the 2 seed, they didn't even upset Vandy. It was
cool.
Number 4 Wright State.
This is cool because look, it's been since 2015 since Louisville's been to a super, and even that is amazing to say because for a decade or so it felt like Louisville lived in the super regionals and in Omaha. This is a proud baseball program that kind of fell off a little bit, and they got put in the right bracket to get back to the supers. And judging by what's going on down here in Hattiesburg, they're going to have a pretty good chance to get to Omaha.
So we pick Vandy here. Like most, Vandy doesn't make it out. And then over here as well, another pick of ours, the Southern Miss 16 seed region. We picked Bama to be the team out of there. I feel like everybody heard the SEC chatter and said, bring your ass.
Well, Bama, too, that first game, they were down 5-3 and hit a ball to the wall that would have been a 3-run walk-off home run. I mean, we were a foot away from a Bama 1-0 game.
So Southern Miss or Miami will take on Louisville. Another game that we picked TCU, they got bounced.
And, I mean, boat race, too.
Bad. They did not show up. But number 8, Oregon State will take on the number 3 seed USC Trojans to see who will face who we did pick here, Florida State, who did exactly what they should have done. Florida State looked clean this weekend in their regional.
It got ugly between Mississippi State and Florida State. Downright ugly. Both managers end up getting ejected.
Yeah.
I didn't have a dog in the fight. I will say Mississippi State got some big news this week. Brian O'Connor from Virginia is their new head coach. Massive, massive hire. I think over 900 wins at Virginia. He's been to Omaha 7 times. He's a national championship winner. That's not just a good hire. That's a splash hire.
Yeah.
And Wake Forest is getting ready to play Tennessee tonight. Their pitching coach is on the way to Starkville to join that staff. Mississippi State, we know about the history they have. We know about the
stadium
facilities. Yeah. We know about it. They're about to be a real problem, which just joined the rest of the SEC.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been a historic program forever. That program and the amount of money that they're willing to put into baseball
about to get elevated
paired with Brian O'Connor is about to be a problem.
Yeah. So game happening right now to decide who gets out of this 5 seed regional. North Carolina and Oklahoma happening. It was 3-0 in the first inning.
Right. When we say right now, we mean it's like on the TV outside.
Right now. I can hear it in there. We did pick North Carolina to win this one. The shocker of the weekend when it comes to national seeding, Oregon goes over
2-Q in your own regional.
Nothing. Oregon at home, day 2 after you got eliminated. There were 3 more baseball games happening, 4 now, happening in your stadium, and you were not involved.
You were in the dorms. Yeah, nothing to do with it. It's an empty feeling. We've been there. Not often, but to hear Arkansas fans talk, we've been there a lot.
Yep.
But we've seen other teams get crowned when we have nothing to do with it.
Yep.
It's an empty feeling. This is the happiest I've been Arkansas sports related in a couple of years. Like waking up this morning and knowing we were doing this podcast today, I was in a really good mood.
A little giddy.
Yeah. Look, guys, we've talked about it. Nobody in this tournament can touch what these guys look like now.
No.
These boys from Fayetteville are cut above everybody else. If Arkansas is playing well, pack up and go home. Pack up and go home.
Yeah. So Arizona ends up winning that region as the 2 seed. Auburn taking care of business in their regional.
Right.
NC State collapsed.
Really
Collapsed.
Nobody had Stetson boat racing them. That happened.
No. And then Coastal Carolina as well. We had Florida coming out of there. I think 95% of everyone had Florida, and Florida was not ready.
Yeah, we won't get into it because it's all over social media right now. So if you want to see it, just look it up on Twitter. But I will say I've been quoted as saying I always thought that Kevin O'Sullivan's teams carried themselves the right way. I always thought he seemed like a classy guy. Let me go on record as saying, looks like I got one wrong. Kevin O'Sullivan, you're a tool sack.
Yeah, Florida going after Coastal Carolina's pretty much entire
athletic program,
and it's been addressed by Coastal, so just feel free to look that up.
Yeah.
So we missed a lot, and I'm okay with missing a lot because we were picking off who we thought was really solid teams. So to be honest with you, to have who's in it right now, I am ecstatic as a Razorback fan.
At the end of the day, we're Razorback fans, and we want Arkansas to win a national championship. So we had a conversation off air multiple times where I think Jeremy kind of came to the realization of what this tournament's like, where you just pull for your team and then you pull for absolute chaos everywhere else.
Like, I want upsets galore. I've never in my life ever had an SEC biased thing of like, I pull for anyone in the SEC.
No,
I think that's the stupidest thing.
Matter of fact, if you do that, it's time for us to realize you're wrong. Okay,
I can't stand whenever someone starts yelling SEC.
If you do that, conference pride is so stupid. In particular, when you are a school like Arkansas, who needs all the recruiting help that you can get in other sports, you all of a sudden want the teams that are in your conference that are recruiting the elite of the elite to have success. I'm not an SEC fan. I am a Razorback fan. There's a difference. Go Hogs and feed everybody else fish heads.
Yeah. Recruiting's a massive deal and money's a massive deal. So when you win natties, you get more of those things. I don't want Alabama, Georgia, LSU, especially Tennessee, Florida. Like, Tennessee is the defending national champion in baseball. Florida, basketball. First of all, also when you're chanting SEC like you're a part of it, it's sad. I've never once, whenever someone wins that's in the SEC, ever say, man, thank you to all the SEC. They just thank their fans and their team and their thing, just as what you're supposed to do.
Do you think that these Alabama fans, when they were winning national championships with Nick Saban and all that kind of stuff, like the Georgia fans now winning national championships, do you think that they're watching us playing the Liberty Bowl and going, man, I hope they win for the conference?
They do not. They laugh at it.
Nobody cares.
You
know what Arkansas fans are doing when they chant SEC, SEC? You're riding the coattails of the upper part of the conference. You don't have anything to do with their success, and they don't care about you.
No, I lived in Birmingham for a year, and I'd go to the bar to watch the games, and they would put on a TV for the Arkansas guy, you know.
Yeah,
and
good of them to do that.
Yeah, Alabama fans would cheer for Arkansas. But they literally they're like, why are we watching that game and not the other game? And I was like, well, I'm the Arkansas fan. They give me the small TV in the corner. And this guy's like, oh, you're an Arkansas fan? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, that's cute. Like, they look at us like that's cute for football. And then they start, I will say this, Auburn fans, assholes all the time. Like, down there. Like, they just constantly they felt like the villain. Alabama fans, bitter. Nicest people. Like, now I will say this.
Wouldn't you be?
I will say this. What ticked me off about Alabama fans is they'd be up 31-7 and pissed that it's not 48-7. Like, they're not winning by enough. I said, bro, I'd be good if it was 7-6.
Well, it wasn't just you. It pissed Nick Saban off too. Yeah. I'm glad we brought this up though. Cause the mere fact of I pull for the SEC just cause it's the SEC, that's so stupid.
You're not a fan of your team.
And then when you say, oh, well, it gives us more money, dude, We're the University of Arkansas. We're one of the richest universities in the country. We don't need the SEC's money.
I just never heard a World Series like baseball champion. Like I've never been like, man, I love thank you to the National League.
Yeah, this is so good for the American League East. Like what?
No one says
Nobody. They don't
in no
care.
sport
They don't care about you. You're chanting for the upper echelon success
because you don't have it.
Because you don't have, and I get it. It's frustrating. I do.
We're Hog fans,
but they're not. They're cheering for you when you win the Liberty Bowl or the Outback Bowl or the Gator Bowl or the Toilet Bowl.
It feels as if the teams that are down here are holding on up here, but none of the teams up here are at all looking down here.
They don't look, dude.
You know what they did for the Liberty Bowl in Alabama? Probably didn't watch it.
Right. I said, well, watch this, or I could go to the bar, and they went to the bar. Like the SEC has won so many championships in my lifetime, and my life has never changed. It means nothing.
With summer just around the corner, I'm sure you have some health and nutrition goals. Let us here at Happy's Energy and Nutrition meet those goals with you. We do protein shakes at 200 calories, 24 grams of protein, 9 grams of sugar, and they taste like ice cream, so you're cheating without cheating. We also do energy drinks. You see me drinking them every single day on the podcast, loaded with B vitamins, some caffeine, and we use aloe, no sugars. It is absolutely delicious. They are a great meal replacement, energy replacement supplement for you. Come visit us at 11321 West Markham, Suite 1, right next to Wingstop in Little Rock. We're open 7 to 2 Monday through Friday and 9 to 2 on Saturdays. That's Happy's Energy and Nutrition on West Markham.
If we get a Wake Forest Super Regional and somehow get a West Virginia or a UALR first round Omaha as opposed to an LSU, Will said it last week, LSU is built for tournaments like this.
They are.
So you know what we're going to get on game 1 in Omaha is they've got the best 1-2 punch.
You're getting
in pitching.
You're getting Cade Anderson and or Anthony Ianson, and you're probably going 0-1.
Or you're going to have to, Zach Root's going to have a day.
Yeah, but here's the thing too, though, and what they're finding out. Those two arms are what build you for this tournament, but it gets a little wide open when you get outside of those two arms. The two best teams in this tournament are Arkansas and LSU. They just are. And if ULR takes that, look, like I said, we're in Little Rock, Arkansas right now. If ULR takes out LSU, that is the sports equivalent to David loading up the slingshot and knocking out the Philistine Giant. It's as big an upset baseball-wise as I've ever seen and maybe will ever see if this happens.
Your batting is there for both teams.
Yeah.
Because the pitching that both teams are going to throw out is going to be
it's not front line.
It's whatever they've got left. And to be honest, you might try to go get your Friday starter an inning or two. Like, hey, you got anything in the tank? You threw 70. Can you get me 20 pitches?
Yeah, if you get to a game 7, it is the literal personification of throw everything out the window. We got to be better for 9
table
innings.
scraps. Let's say that it's a midweek starter. Like for us, it would have been a Ben Bybee. He goes 1 inning, gives up 2-3 runs. You're done.
Yeah,
I got to go somewhere else.
You can't sit around and wait for somebody to figure it out because it's all hands on deck.
Exactly, but what hands do you have left? And I guarantee today you will see a Friday starter out of one of these try to come in or start for an inning or two just to try to get you.
I would be shocked if, like with Tennessee and Wake Forest, you don't see Liam Doyle at some point.
Just for a minute.
Yeah,
give me 25.
I would be shocked if we don't see an Ianson or somebody out of the bullpen for like that's the thing. They didn't just get beat. They got rolled yesterday. Like it kept going on and I'm going, man, I want to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mondays are a busy day for me. I got this. Then I go from here to band practice, which by the way, shameless plug, Pale Horse going into the studio this weekend. So keep me up to date on game 2 and possibly game 3 of the Super Regionals. I'm going to be working.
It's just exciting.
This
today is what I call the duct tape and bubble gum.
Oh, dude,
games.
if you get to game 7, anything can happen.
It's going to be high scoring.
Did that last hailstorm damage your vehicle? Don't stress no more. Our friends at Finished Dentless Hail Repairs got you covered. Up to $500 off your deductible. Give them a call at 501-422-4161. That is Finished Dentless Hail Repair out of Little Rock, and let them know that the We'll See You Later podcast sent you.
Let's dive into Arkansas.
Now it's time to dive in just how good Arkansas was
there
this week. that first game against a game North Dakota State team.
Yeah.
But it was what it was. You started Aiden Jimenez.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying, look, our C game is good enough to beat their A game. And it was.
I guess you could say if you look at it from a fan's perspective, it's kind of boring to watch.
It was a boring game. But at the end of the day, it's a 6-2 win.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody, when you've got national seats dropping game one like flies, you take the win and you move on and you take it for what it was. You had one guy have a good day in Cam Kojal offensively, and that was good enough to get you a W and move on. And then in game two against Creighton, after Creighton got past the 2 seed Kansas, you saw, okay, these guys have knocked the rust off from not playing in a little bit over a week. And this is that 12-1 in game two was like, okay, with Root on the mound, where you went.
Yeah. Once we got over 4 runs, I was like,
this is the team that we signed up for in the postseason, and we're untouchable in this regional.
Mm-hmm.
You got that. At least we're untouchable.
Vahivo Loy, the frustration of where people are pitching him, he tomahawked the ball
buddy,
at his chin.
I felt bad for that baseball. I really, because there was a lot of frustration taken out. The ball got out in half a second.
Yeah, it was nuts.
I just think that, look, it's as simple as you got to keyhole one pitch in one spot, and if they don't go there, don't swing.
Yeah.
Take your walks and be happy with the
I think he's okay with it
happening behind you.
I just think the frustration of,
I want to get involved.
Yeah. But he is with walks. I think it's actually whenever he hits the ball, he's not able to do a whole lot with the pitches that he's been presented until this weekend. And the one I think that needs to, and he started to, which I'm super glad, is Cahillo.
Yeah, Cahillo is anything with a little bit of wiggle in it, he's having trouble picking up.
Yeah.
Which it's easy to figure out why when you watch his swing. You can't hit what you're not looking at.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's pulling his head out, and it's easily fixable. Stay on the ball and go the other way. If you watch the approach of the hitters that had success this weekend, aside from Ryder Helford, because he just pulls everything, but you watch a Cam Kojal going the other way. You watch a Logan Maxwell going the other way. It's beautiful to watch. Davalon. They're on everything. They're letting it get deep and hitting is where it's pitched. Had a really big swing from Justin Thomas in game 3 yesterday, which did you, the angle of that home run where they were kind of wide and behind home plate.
I saw that.
That was so cool. He murdered that ball. It's as good as a team can look through 3 games of a regional where you play quality teams all weekend. It's as good as you can look for 3 games, I think. I mean, you go to game 3 last night. There was actual history made. Everybody talks about Arkansas' offense, and rightfully so. When the offense is clicking, you can't do anything with them. But what you don't talk about enough, we had 2 dudes on the mound last night, and Gage Wood and Gabe Gackle, who struck out 20 batters combined.
Out of 27.
And did not walk a single batter.
That's a win.
It's impossible to lose.
That's a win.
That's a program record. They've never done that. Never had that many strikeouts with no walks.
We were in the 6th inning, and I'm like, Gage is on fire. He's got 13 Ks, and I'm like, you know what's crazy? Gabe Gackle hasn't even touched the field yet.
Gabe Gackle hasn't pitched, and then we went the whole weekend without seeing a Dylan Carter. We went the whole weekend without seeing a Gibbler. Went the whole weekend without seeing a McIntyre. Went the whole weekend without seeing a Dietz. Went the whole weekend without seeing just reliever after reliever. Like, there were so many arms that just got the weekend off.
I think that the Wood Gackle combo is so nasty.
It is. And it's weird because you would think they'd be the same look, but it's completely different and just the same kind of stuff. I like Gackle piggybacking off of anybody, but the fact that Root pitched in a game where it was 12-1, he didn't have to piggyback off of Root anymore. Like, they saved him.
You could tell that if that was a close situation, that was Gackle.
All due respect to Steele Eves, but you got Steele Eves in a regional before you got a
Gackle,
Gibbler, or a McIntyre, or like some of these guys that a Dylan Carter, some of these guys that are your veteran bullpen arms, they were able to midweek arm at the end of it. Like a team could not look more dominant.
Yeah.
Could not look
No,
more dominant.
I mean, we had those arms. We were saving them just in case of a Monday situation for us. You know, like you would want, hey, maybe if yesterday didn't look as great, maybe we don't throw Gackle here and we start him on Monday. Like we saved Gibbler. We saved a Will McIntyre. We saved Dylan Carter for just in case we will have arms and fresh ones.
And it shows you that this team's not going to run out of arms.
And we didn't need them.
They're not going to run out of arms because
we will.
There are going to be arms that are sitting in the bullpen throughout this postseason run that don't get into big games, and we win anyway.
Who could start for the team we're playing?
Yeah, it's an embarrassment of riches. They have built us as the fan base because we are privileged to have watched these guys. They have built us a damn near perfect baseball team.
Oh, yeah. This is the most collected together team, talent-wise and just mentals. This team looks like they're destined for success no matter what. I'm not just trying to say that because I'm a fan. They could lose this coming weekend. They really could. We've lost some series this year whenever we're not together. People start getting in their heads. This weekend, I felt like it was everybody was out of their own way and let's just play ball. And it was awesome.
Very collective effort. And I'll say it again. There was a business-like approach to this where it was everybody thinks that this is a big deal for us to get out of a regional where this team never had a doubt that they were getting out, but also knew they had to show up and take care of business to get this done. They take care of business, and it looks like they see it as what it is. It is a step towards what we want, and we all know that getting that last out is what we're talking about. Getting that last out, hoisting the trophy, and nothing else matters. Exactly. There were teams that damn near dogpiled after winning their regional. You don't see that with these guys. It's a step towards what we want to do.
Yeah.
We don't just want to get to the supers. We don't just want to get to Omaha. We're coming for the whole damn thing. Look, guys, Arkansas could lose 2 out of 3 this coming weekend. And I got to tell you, after what you've watched the last few weeks, like we've covered this entire season, Jeremy and I together on this podcast, it will crush us if we have to come on here and say this team fell short of even getting to Omaha. That would be a letdown because everybody understands this is probably the most complete team Arkansas's ever had.
Yeah.
So
top to bottom. You look at you go top to bottom. If I'm going to face somebody in this lineup that I'm like, this is the guy that I believe I would get, the only guy I can look at to be like, this is your best shot is a Reese Robinette. And he's solid.
Because the 9-hole hitter's a dog.
Right. You look all around. I'm like, okay, I'm 1 through 5, not a chance. Then you turn around 1 through 6, because then you have an Iredale in a 6 spot, or you have a Cam Kojal in a 5 or a 6
that just wakes up and hits rockets.
I don't want,
and then goes fishing. Apparently,
the only guy, and he's huge. He's 6'3", 210. Is hey, the only thing you can do to me on a Reese is you can try to fool him. Because if he squares it up, it's a piss missile.
Can we talk about the Cam Kojal getting caught on camera? Cam Kojal during North Dakota State and Creighton.
Yeah.
When they pan to something and you can see him in the background.
They pan to center field.
They pan to center field and you can see him in the background fishing and in the little retaining lake behind the stadium. Lake Norm.
Cam Kojal out there fishing before our game is the funniest and coolest thing ever. He also, by the end of that game, was done fishing and was sitting up top doing his journaling on the railing by the landing area and watching the game from up there.
He's such a interesting kid. He just is. He's such an interesting kid. And I feel like there's stories all throughout this team with different kids and just the way that they are.
Yeah.
But Cam Kojal's a different cat, man.
It's incredible.
He's a different cat.
What's up, guys? This is Willie Ray from the We'll See You Later podcast. We're excited to say, as always, that this episode is brought to you by our friends at Liberton Home Repairs. Liberton Home Repairs right here in Little Rock. Quality home repair service that you can trust. Give them a call at 405-600-8363. That's 405-600-8363 for Liberton Home Repairs. be sure and tell them that the guys over at the We'll See You Later podcast sent you.
So I got nothing else other than woo damn pig and let's go win a natty.
Right. We don't know what is to come of these games later today. Obviously, by the time this gets posted, you'll be well into preparation for whoever we play in the Supers. Little Rock, if this is it, thanks for the ride.
It's been incredible.
Yeah, if this is it, thank you, Coach Curry. Thank you to the Little Rock Trojans. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If it's not it, we'll see you next week.
I do want to talk about this. This is something that most people don't like talking about, and I get why. June is Men's Health Awareness Month. And just to put it into perspective of what this month can mean and what you need to recognize is I grew up watching ESPN, and one of my favorite shows was Sports Science.
Love it. Love it.
John Brinkus was the host of that show. And if you ever can go back and watch it, he was such a nerd for trajectories of throws and the window and the timing and the strength, every bit of the force he had to put in it. Like, it was so cool to learn.
It was the beginning of what we know now as analytics.
Yes. Little did we know that he battled depression. And he, for lack of better words, is not here with us now. As of May 31st, he has left this earth. And this is something that if you're going through something, I know it's so cliche to just say reach out, but you got to. I've got friends just this week that shared the same kind of sentiment. I had a text literally this weekend. I'm on 5% left of my I'm tired.
Right.
I'm tired. And that's where most of us, that's what we feel as men. We're tired and we're exhausted.
I watched a video probably a couple of weeks ago. It's just a woman asking the camera to the guys out there, when things get really hard, when you're at your wit's end, who do you talk to? And then it cuts to different responses from like probably 10 or 12 guys. Every one of them, nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a guy. Nobody gives a shit. We got to put it away.
You've got to find at least one person that you can be your true authentic self and share those thoughts, the voice that never shuts off in your brain. You're not alone that we all have that. Like, I understand it. It speaks differently to you, and it's all about whatever you're battling. You've got to be able to find someone, preferably a guy, because then we can relate.
Right. We're so bad to ourselves.
And I opened up to my friend about my insecurities and where my brain goes of being a failure as a man and everything that I do. Like, that's where my brain goes and I'll never make it. And all these things, all these thoughts is where I go. And we're a lot more similar than you think.
Yeah. You're sitting next to somebody that you've seen me at my darkest, and it's just full disclosure. For the past year, I've dealt with more physical problems. I'm still dealing with them as we sit here. I've dealt with more physical problems than I've ever dealt with in my life, and it's bled over into my mental game.
Yeah,
it's bled over to where I'm in the same fight. I'm in the same fight that our dearly departed friend is in, where it's, am I ever going to get back to at least my version of normal?
Yeah.
Am I ever going to wake up and not be in pain or freaked out over the fact that something could be bad wrong? Guys, we've got to stop being so horrible to ourselves.
Oh yeah. When I was going through my divorce many, many years ago, I was low. I was by myself with my job. I was by myself at home. I felt so isolated, and I created more isolation because I felt like a problem. I used to go home and I would drink as much sleeping meds as I could and take a couple shots of whiskey and just ask God not to wake me up. I did that for a while until my mom found out and had to kind of give me a massive change. That's kind of why I do what I do with Happy's, because where I was at in my life, I needed to change something. And then my dad dies 2 years ago. So after I get out of that situation and rocking and rolling, I lose my dad, and losing someone as an adult that you weren't prepared for at all is a little different than losing them as a younger person.
It's a different deal.
It is. And so I've I lost my way there. I didn't know how to deal with things. I've been angry, frustrated. I've talked about it on here, trying to figure out my place and whose role I have to fill that I don't want to fill. And it's been low. I've woke up in the middle of the night, panic attacks, freaking out. I'm short tempered. I'm frustrated. You name it. I get it. I haven't gotten to the point where I don't want to be here anymore, but I'm so in my head sometimes that I get it. I get why. Because it doesn't stop unless you speak about it. And the more and more you talk about it, the more and more it allows other people to see into your head, and the more and more they can try to help you, comfort you, and walk with you through the mud, not just talk about it.
Yeah. Well, if nothing comes of this, I know it sounds cliche, but if you're watching this, you got a friend.
Sure do.
And the guys at the We'll See You Later podcast. We see you. We hear you. We're right there with you.
Yeah, man.
We've got to start being more empathetic. We've got to start being better to ourselves. Be kinder to yourself. Show yourself some grace because shit's hard out here, man. Find what success means to you. Go at it as hard as you can go at it, and know that, look, man, failure means you're living.
And just find a little bit of a support system that's there to pick you up whenever you and dust you off, and let's go again. Like, that's all it is, man. You got to find a little bit of that support system.
The stigma with men is real. We do it to ourselves. We think we're supposed to be the ones that everybody else leans on, and shit gets heavy.
It does.
If nothing else comes out of this, your boys at the We'll See You Later podcast, we got you.
Here for you, man. We love on you. Share your story. You might not think that it means much. It means everything, because someone out there needs to hear your fight, your struggle, and how you're handling it, because they're in the same boat. Maybe they're in a different boat, but your story speaks to them.
My wife has dealt with anxiety.
Yeah.
The whole time that I've known, and I never dealt with it in my life, and I never truly understood it. To me, it was I mean, you get nervous. Like, what are you nervous about? Don't be nervous. You're fine. All this physical stuff led to me dealing with that kind of stuff for the first time in my life. Guys, I thought I was dying.
I thought I had a heart attack when I had my first panic attack.
I thought I was checking out. I thought it was curtains. When I bring it up to people, there's not been a person I've talked to that hasn't said, "Oh, you too."
Mm-hmm.
Not a single one of them.
I didn't know that I was so rare to not have it.
It's kind of like, remember when I had my first beer? Like,
right?
That's cute. Guys, we're all eating a shit sandwich out here.
Yeah,
like, you're worth having around. You're worth having around.
If we don't know you, somebody's world out there is better that you're in it. You might not think it or know it.
If you're watching this podcast right now, my world's better because you're in it.
That's right.
I'm glad this was brought up, because it ends up being therapeutic for us too, to be able to just come out and say, "Hey, we struggle too."
Yeah.
You know, we sit in front of a camera and we act stupid every week, but you know, this becomes our escape.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are our escape. If I can get to Monday, I'm going to have a little bit of fun because I'm going to be able to talk ball with my buddy.
Right.
The fact that you guys listen, that you comment, that you share, that you do all the, like, the reactions that we get, that's the reason why we keep going. It's you guys. You have no idea how important you are. All right, I'm through pandering to you assholes.
Yeah. We got to find Will a stand to where this microphone doesn't get touched.
No, like, I've told you, we need a long table where we're sitting down and facing each other. Because if I go to this mic stand right here, I'm gonna be doing this the whole.
Yeah.
Because if I come over here and try to use this mic stand, here's what you have.
Yeah.
Right here.
Like what I got.
And I look like what I am. I look very disabled right now. And, like, you know,
we gotta look on Amazon and find an arm. One of those
this
big
is
ones.
kind of what's the dude's name? Stephen Hawking.
No.
R.I.P. But, you know,
We count the first live show as episode 53.
first of all, we need to talk about, like, thank you guys for that. We got great feedback on that. That was a lot of fun. Jeremy was petrified how that was going to work out, and I think it came off really well.
That's pretty solid. Appreciate you guys for the live. We'll go live again, just for more important kind of things or something that's really fresh on the brain. We film every single Monday. Yeah, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining in for episode 54. We thank you guys so much for attending the We'll See You Later terrible bracket challenge in baseball, but enjoying every freaking second of it. Woo Pig is all that matters to us anyway.
Woo Pig and go Trojans.
That's right. Until next time, guys, 3 things to live by before you guys get out of here. Number 1, don't piss into the wind. Number 2, most importantly for this coming weekend, Hogs by 1,000,000.
Omaha's even.
And number 3.
Do we dare?
And number 3, never, ever, ever trust a fart. Had a close call this morning. And until next time, guys.
We'll see you later. It was talking sweet to you like you almost trusted it.
It was talking a little something.
Leave that in.
It had more to say than I thought.
Leave that in at the end. That'll be funny.